The hate army troll.
It's the hate army, bro.
The hate army, that guy.
Hate army.
Hate army general. Good vibes to the hate army.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for hate.
How's it going with you? Hopefully everything's going well with all of you out there. I noticed definitely this weekend attendance has been down on my streams, and I think a major reason for that is many of you are into fighting games like me, and you've been watching EVO, and I totally understand that. You know, if LTG had manned up and accepted my challenge, we would have had a stream that would have been absolutely amazing. That probably would have blown away viewer numbers for EVO during those qualifying rounds, but instead he decided to scrub out like usual in life. So anyway, everyone's watching EVO. Okay? So, yeah, I've noticed that, and people have even been saying, you know, they'll show up late to my stream and they'll be like, hey, EVO just ended for the day and now I'm here. I get that. For me, I'm not going to be watching EVO. I will likely watch some matches after the fact. Like, I'm sure there's going to be EVO footage all over YouTube, so that I'll be able to watch and learn from the things that happen to EVO and the strategies used in Street Fighter 6. But for me, it's a work weekend for me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, how y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. Let's talk. Where do we even begin? Because I have so much to talk about today. I have multiple topics to talk about. Let's just start with EVO because I already brought it up. Alright? So EVO is a ginormous fighting game championship, although it's not really necessarily, I don't think, considered the nationals anymore. At one point it was. It was considered the big national tournament in the USA, but since it got sold off to Sony, and now you have things like Capcom Pro Tour and stuff that have $1 million prize pools, EVO may not be the top tournament anymore, but still, it's really the first insanely huge major tournament for Street Fighter 6, and right now, there's only 6 players left in Street Fighter 6, which is weird, because usually they play to the top 8, but for some reason in this tournament, everything went to top 6, which I don't know the format they were using to do that. Unless they played 2 losers bracket matches early, I'm not sure. But anyway, in the top 6 of Street Fighter 6 at EVO, here's who they've got. 2 Kens. What a shocking twist of surprising fate there, right? A Cammy. Okay, not surprising at all. A Chun-Li. Honestly, I'm not surprised at that. I think Chun-Li is a really good character. I just think that no one really uses her online because she's so hard to use. Having to use stance changes and the like, while the other top tier characters are much easier to use, I think Chun-Li is quite hard to use, and therefore I think that's why you don't see that much, but I think she really is a great character. So those 4 don't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. Alright? Then there's a JP. Now, JP, every JP I've played online, for the most part, has been a pattern player, meaning they have a strategy that they use from mid to long range, and they try to keep you away and lock you down with this strategy, and if it doesn't work, they pretty much, crumble. Now, obviously that's not going to be the case with every JP, and I'm not sure how this JP is playing. I haven't seen him at all. I'd be very interested to see the play from this JP who made the top 6, because that means he must know something most people don't, right? Like, what is he doing that's actually locking people down? So I'd be interested to see that. And then, very proud to say that there was a Blanca in top 6. It is Maina RD, the guy who we talked about on these streams just a week ago. Remember I said I was watching videos on YouTube and he was one of the top players. He's one of the top tournament players right now. And he won the first major tournament for Street Fighter 6 at CEO back in, what was it, June, July, whenever. I think it was June. With Blanca, and he is representing Blanca at EVO, which is really cool. What's weird is, if you look at the other top 5 players, like, all the people you would have thought would have been notable names aren't in there. There's no Tokido, there's no Daigo, there's no Justin Wong, there's no top players from the Street Fighter 5 era. Like, it seems like when you get these major tournaments now, it is a toss-up who you're going to see in the finals, which, by the way, is refreshing. Because back in the day, when I used to be a pro-level tournament player going to EVO, it was always the same, like, 10 to 15 people winning everything. And reason being is because back then there just weren't a lot of people who were able to live that lifestyle to play enough to be a top tournament level player. If all you do is travel the country playing competitive Street Fighter, chances are you're probably going to win all the tournaments, right? And that's how it was back then. Guys like Justin Wong, Ricky Ortiz were able to constantly travel the tournament scene, playing in every tournament, learning every strategy, and therefore at EVO they dominated every year. But now there's entire sports teams, esports teams based around this. They sponsor you. They fly you everywhere. They allow so many people to play these games full time that now it's kind of a toss-up who you're going to see at these events. I'm not shocked to hear that it's not like a major streamer or whatever who's in the top 6, but instead it's people who have basically been playing esports level hardcore the whole time. So, yeah, top 6 looks interesting. I like that spread, but it's kind of messed up because 4 out of the top 6 are exactly who you would have expected to be in the top 6. 2 Kens, yeah, that makes sense. A Cammy absolutely makes sense, and a Chun-Li to me makes sense. It's the JP and the Blanca that's kind of a little bit surprising, but knowing that Maina RD has been so good, kind of makes sense that that's why he's there. The JP is actually the biggest head scratcher because I really am curious. Wait, Tokido's in it? Is he? Because when I saw what they posted on Twitter last night, there was no Tokido, so maybe the post was wrong. If Tokido's in, that's excellent. I mean, Tokido, one of the top players of all time at this point, and he's my nemesis. Like, I've never beaten him in a tournament. We had close matches, I never beaten him. Keep in mind, when I was in the tournament scene back then, he was up and coming, and now he's like been a major player for the last 15 years or whatever. So, is he still in it? Because, like I said, I saw a post last night, and it didn't say Tokido. So maybe the post was wrong. Because I was looking for the big names. I was like, where's the big names? I don't see any. You know, just Maina was the only one that I had recognized. If Tokido is still in it, maybe he's one of the Kens, right? You would think he is. Anyway, so that's EVO going on, and the finals will be today. I don't know what time. It's not going to affect me or my schedule or whatever. I'm still doing my normal stuff. But I may watch some of the matches back later today, in particular the Maina ones. Although, I'll be honest, when I watch Maina RD, like, that is like super duper next level Blanca. Because he does things like big picture, big brain things. I'll give you an example. When you're playing Street Fighter 6 and you start to land a combo, you're thinking, let me do the maximum damage possible. So you'll do a combo that will be like hit, drive rush, another hit, juggle, cancel to level 3. Oh my god, I did 60% damage. No, not Maina. What Maina does is he thinks big picture about the rest of the game. He doesn't care about damage as long as he gets you to the corner. Because if he gets you to the corner, that's where he dominates. You're going to get stuck in that corner and have a hard time getting out, and that's what he wants. He wants you trapped. So instead of doing a combo ending in a level 3 super, he'll do an extra juggle where normally you do level 3, he'll do another drive rush into light kick, into coward crouch launcher, and then push you further to the corner. It means way less damage for the combo, but now he's at a better advantageous position for the rest of the round. And that's how he plays. I've seen him doing this in matches, and I'm like, wow, pretty cool. You know, that's, again, he's taking on the next level when it comes to a game like this. So, it's probably why he's so good. So many props to him. And of course, many props to anyone who's making top 6 at freaking EVO. The first one for a brand new fighting game like this is insane. This is the highest entries ever. Over 7,000 people entered. So pretty crazy that many people entered the game. To hang up there, to survive that long. Pretty impressive. So I'll probably watch the matches if they're online after the fact. Anyway, the other thing that I just heard this morning that some people are saying is happening here, is that PlayStation 5s are having malfunctions at EVO that was never, ever expected. So, you gotta think of something. When you're at a major tournament like this, they're probably starting their pools for tournament play early in the morning. I would think like 9 a.m., if not earlier. And they're probably running all day long, 12, 15 hours. Those PS5s are on all day running games like Street Fighter 6. So, apparently the report is as follows. PlayStation 5s at EVO are melting people's controllers and melting the USB ports. That no one tested these things for long level tournament play. Previous EVOs ran on PS4s. So this is the first year everything's native PS5, and people are playing all day, and by the end of the day, people are plugging their joysticks in, playing the game, and when they go to come out, the whole thing melted and it destroyed their joystick. Alright? That's pretty bad. All right, and from what they're saying is the first time they've ever seen anything like this. The USB ports are too close to the elements inside the console that get warm. So because of that, the console's warming up and melting shit. All right, which is pretty nuts. So now people are like, oh God, is this going to happen to me? Of course not. This is EVO. This is a tournament where the PS5 is literally running all day long without a break. People popping in and out their joysticks, playing at a high level. You know what I mean? A common person is not going to sit at home with their PS5 running for 15 hours with 2 USB ports jammed full of controllers. You understand? Like, for me, someone said to me, "Oh, are you worried?" No, I'm not worried. Why would I be worried? My streams are what? Oh, excuse me. And my streams are what? 3 hours long. So with 3-hour-long streams, is my console going to overheat? Of course it's not. It does get hot, by the way. Like, for example, whenever I play PS5, just playing Final Fantasy 16 recently, I go over there after my stream, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, the ambient temperature is way hotter. You can tell that thing heated the fucking crazy up during the stream. Like, damn. But, I don't think I'm going to have that issue. I'm not someone who's going to be, playing that kind of insanely long time period, so not a big deal. But I could see for tournament organizers, this could be a major, major problem. It could be. Anyway, so that's going on at EVO. That's the EVO news going on right now. So I feel like what I should do is follow up with the EVO news with my discussion of what I'm doing currently with fighting games on my streams, and a big follow-up to the discussion we've been having. All right? So the discussion we've been having for the past couple of days is in regards to Mortal Kombat 1. Because Mortal Kombat 1 will not be cross-platform during the beta period, which takes place from the 18th to the 21st of this month. It also will not be cross-platform at launch. They're going to patch in cross-platform play later on, but it's not sure when. If I'm going to play Mortal Kombat 1, which I want to, and I want to play against the biggest amount of players that available, and always have a good player base for it, I got to get it on the console that has the biggest player pool, and that's going to be PlayStation 5. So, that being said, I had to make a big decision. If I'm going to get it on PS5, am I going to invest in, PlayStation Plus again to get it so I can play online? Because you have to pay for the online play. And my joystick, my old joystick that I have, the Hori Real Arcade Pro 4, is almost a decade old at this point. It's something that I bought for the beta of Street Fighter 5, so think about how long ago that was, okay? And I've used it for so many games over the years, including Street Fighter 5, Injustice 2, Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, and a bunch of retro Street Fighters. Oh, Tekken 7, by the way. And a bunch of retro Street Fighters, including games like the 30th Anniversary Collection and Capcom Fighting Collection. So I've played that joystick a lot, and I'll be honest, it's worn out. It still works fine. Don't get me wrong, there's no buttons that are broken. But you can tell when you use the joystick, it's worn out. The buttons, don't feel as good anymore. The joystick definitely feels like it's a little bit worn out and not as good of a response as you would want from your competitive level controls. So basically, we've been talking the past couple of days, what do I do? And there's two schools of thought. One school of thought is just save money and play it on Xbox. Nobody cares. But the thing is, I've got a great response these last, couple of months for Street Fighter 6. I really did. Like, people loving the content. Is it insane, record-breaking views? No. But the streams do well. People support the streams. And the videos on YouTube do okay. Alright? So, I know when I play Mortal Kombat, for example, when I play through the story mode, people are going to love that. They absolutely love when I play the narrative parts of Mortal Kombat and exploring different characters, playing online. And if there is other single-player content, which we don't know yet, typically they would call it the crypt. But there is no crypt in this one, supposedly. They changed it. There's something else they've added that's not the crypt, but it's different. So we don't know what the MK1 content is going to be at launch. But I want to cover it, and I want to cover it pretty extensively. I don't know if I'm going to adopt the game and play it a ton like I did with Street Fighter 6. I don't know. Street Fighter is my forte. Mortal Kombat has never been my forte. All right? But I want to play it at a good level. All right? So, considering all factors and the fact that in the future we know Tekken 8's coming out, we know there's going to be other fighting games coming out, and really, PlayStation 5 is the premier console to play fighting games on right now. Like, for example, sales numbers for Xbox are abysmal for Street Fighter 6. Thankfully, Street Fighter 6 is cross-platform, so I've still been able to play against as many people as possible. But it's like 80% of the sales were all on PS5, and a very measly 15 to 20% were on Xbox. So that split is terrible. Now imagine I could only play Xbox players in MK1 and there was no cross-platform. I'm basically shooting myself in the foot there, okay? So, we talked about this the last couple of days, and it's going to be a lot of money investment because I got to buy a new joystick, and we talked about the joystick options. We talked about the fact I have to rebuy certain games. I have to get PS Plus again. So we discussed all of this, and I said, hey, I would really appreciate it if, I do go through excuse me, indigestion. If I do go through with this, I would appreciate it if I could get some support from the viewers who've been really enjoying the fighting game stuff and are looking forward to more future content in fighting games, if you would support those streams, because, man, it's going to be an expensive endeavor to do this upgrade, basically, so that I have the best situation for fighting games moving forward. All right? And I held off for a couple of days. I was thinking about it. And last night, it was after dinner. I was sitting in the living room with my wife, and we're relaxing, we're digesting, and I was like, you know, Street Fighter's been really good to me right now. You know, it really has been. If you take a look, the last 2.5 months of content I've been putting out at Street Fighter 6 has been really good. I'm doing well. You know, I'm leveling up in this game. It's to the point where I was thinking in my head, here's the thing. There's no carryover of your progress when you play different platforms of Street Fighter 6. So, for example, right now, I've been playing Street Fighter 6 on Xbox Series X. I'm master level with Blanca. My Honda, within one day, is now at 3-star Diamond. I got 1-star Diamond Luke. I've got a 5-star Platinum Lily, who if I play another couple times likely will be into Diamond, okay? So I've got some pretty decent rankings under my belt on Xbox. But I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, it's not going to carry over if I play on PS5. But the thing is, all right, I am actually, for the first time in many years, and I mean